Hi guys! Thank you so much for pressing play. Today I'm going to be covering a topic that is such a huge part of everyone's lives, and that is rejection. Every human being in life, no matter what you do, has to deal with rejection at times. Today I'll be focusing on dealing with rejection as an artist. However, this can easily be applied to any other area of your life. For example, being rejected by a potential partner, or by your friends, or when applying for a new job or house. It's everywhere really, and it's important to know how to deal with it effectively. Being rejected doesn't always feel great, and there is a lot of reasons why it can become more painful and debilitating than necessary. Okay, tip 1. Understand it is never personal. We as human beings make judgments and reject things all the time. Take for example going to the grocery store and purchasing all the ingredients you need for your favorite homemade pizza. We might reject a certain base or cheese or sauce or a certain topping. Why? Because it's not what we want. For some reason, it's not the best choice for us at that moment. The possible reasons why are plenty. Maybe one particular ingredient is too expensive, maybe you're lactose intolerant or celiac, or maybe you don't want to smell of garlic because you've got a hot date afterwards. Now you could look at all of this as rejecting every other ingredient in the supermarket, or you could look at it as choosing what is best for you at that time. When we get rejected, it is just because someone else is doing their best to choose what is right for them at that moment. There is nothing wrong with that, and it actually has nothing to do with you personally. Looking at things this way can help you to get a better perspective on the process. Spending your time in your head going over and over why you were rejected, or why you think you were rejected, is not helpful either. You will just end up creating stories and drama in your head that will consistently take your focus and energy that you could be using to move forward to the next opportunity or to improve yourself. Which brings me to tip 2. Tip number 2 is ask the reasons why. Sometimes you don't always have this option, but if you do, then go for it. Why not? You've got nothing to lose. I mean, wouldn't you rather know the truth? Wouldn't you rather have something that you can actually work with? After an audition or a job application or even a date, if you didn't get the result that you wanted, then what harm is there in asking why? You never know, that person might be willing to speak to you honestly. The rejection is possibly not going to feel great anyway, so why don't we do something useful with our grief and emotional turmoil and use it to learn from the experience and then change? I'm not saying that you should go around and change everything about yourself just because someone rejected you though, and that brings me to tip number 3. Tip number 3, understand that your opinion of yourself is what matters most. One of the main reasons we find rejection so painful is because we place an extremely high value on other people's opinions. Sometimes we even derive our sense of value from it, which can be very damaging if we allow it. What I'm going to encourage you to do, and I want you to start right now, is decide that you know yourself better than anyone else, and you are the best judge of your strengths, weaknesses, and talents. Not an audition panel who you've spent maybe less than an hour in front of, and not a person you've spent one night with at dinner. Often people have to make decisions based on a small snapshot of what we present to them. To make the best decision in that time can be very challenging, and sometimes people even regret the decisions that they make. Most of us beat ourselves up way too much anyway without anyone rejecting us, and we are our own harshest critic. Please stop that. I would like you to open your mind and entertain the idea that I'm about to present to you. Your opinion of yourself is what matters most. What you tell yourself every day is what you end up believing and is what you eventually become. I remember when I used to go to singing auditions and I had terrible negative self-beliefs around my singing. I always knew that I was a great dancer, but singing was something I never believed I was any good at. And I remember one audition we had to sing and dance, and I remember dancing really well and then going into singing and thinking, oh well, at least I dance great. I sang my song and afterwards they say, wow, that was great. Obviously you're a singer first and then a dancer second. And I think I actually laughed out loud at the audition, but they were actually serious. However, even after such amazing feedback, I wanted to stick with my low self-valuing mindset, and surely enough, that has led me to not becoming a singer. The lesson here is we think that other people's opinions of us matter when really they don't. Our minds are so powerful and sometimes stubborn, and as much as we are told what we are in the eyes of others, we will always be what we are in the eyes of ourselves. And my 4th tip is, find value in the process, not just the result. We live in a very result-driven world these days, and it's very easy to get caught up in. The result of your pursuit is really very small compared to the process. Ideally, of course, we do want to achieve our desired result, and that is absolutely possible. However, the process we take to get there is where the greatest value is. Let's take the example of winning a race at a school swimming carnival. Leading up to the carnival, you might be training and working on your craft and working on your discipline. You might have overcome physical and mental challenges, and you might have done that with the help and support of a mentor or a coach or family friend. From that process alone, you have gained so much value. However, we don't always see that. And sometimes we don't see that until we have a trophy to prove it. And if we don't receive that trophy, then we can start to think that it was all a waste of time. But it's not. That training and process is only going to make you better for the next time that you enter a swimming race. Even if you fully understand all of this, there are definitely useful strategies that I would like to suggest to you to work through rejection. So step number 1 is to have an appropriate grieving time. If something has deeply upset you, then the worst thing you can do is avoid it and pretend like nothing has happened. So take your time, get your wine, your chocolate, your feel-good movie, and your box of tissues, and just be honest with yourself. Step number 2 is do something else that is unrelated to take your mind off it. So if you've just been cut from an audition and you got cut because you know you didn't pick up the choreography and you're upset about that, then don't go and throw yourself straight into a dance class. Find something unrelated that is productive that you can put your attention to. Clean the house, or go for a walk with a friend, or do something that you enjoy. Step number 3 is to learn from it. So you always want to ask yourself, what did I learn from this experience? Maybe you learned that you struggle to pick up choreography and you need to do some work on that. Maybe you learned that arriving late and being flustered doesn't put you in a good mindset for the audition. Maybe you learned that it's really important to read the brief and specific directions and height restrictions of the audition. Step 4 is to take responsibility and move forward with a new and improved approach. So the key here is to take responsibility. You can blame every man and his dog as to why things didn't work out the way you wanted. However, that will just keep you stuck and comfortable with your undesired result. If you really want a different result, and I'm pretty sure you do, then it is going to take something different from you. So if you struggled with the choreography, then get to more class. If you were late, then make sure you leave an hour earlier next time. If you didn't read the audition brief properly, then make sure you do that every time from now on. Your life is what you make it. So go out and take back your power and take your responsibility and go and live the life you're meant to. I hope that this has been helpful for you all. Rejection is such a huge part of anyone's life, but as an artist, it can be completely crippling if you let it. I know a lot of people who have walked away from their dreams because of rejection, and I don't want that to happen to you. If you enjoyed this video, then please like the Facebook page Natasha Crane Creations, where there is more information about upcoming classes, coaching courses, and individual coaching. I am taking new enrollments at the moment and would love to support you on your journey. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.